friends, welcome to Beautifully Bookish Bethany, where I have new videos every week about books and the geeky mom lifestyle. In today's video, I'm going to be recommending to you 11 romance novels where the hero and heroine shockingly have good communication instead of misunderstandings. So this video was actually a request from one of my channel members, and I thought this was a great idea. If you're a romance reader, you might know that frequently you get this trope of misunderstanding as the conflict between a hero and heroine, where if they just had a conversation, if they would just talk to each other, there would be no problems. And I understand that that can sometimes be frustrating. So if you're looking for a romance novel where that's less of a problem, I have some recommendations for you. In all of these books, at least one of two things, if not both, is true. Either the hero and heroine have fantastic communication and do a good job talking to each other throughout it and don't have misunderstandings as the primary conflict, or the primary conflict is external to the relationship, where the thing that creates problems or friction for the hero and heroine has nothing to do with their relationship with each other. It has to do with outside events or forces. In some cases, you might have internal conflict where they still have good communication with each other. For instance, one person is being stubborn about not wanting to commit to a real relationship and is afraid to actually fall in love, but they're still communicating where they're at to the other person. So in today's video, I've got 11 books to recommend to you if that's what you're looking for. One caveat to note is that these are my picks for contemporary romance and historical romance. If you want to see my picks for fantasy romance, that's going to be the members only video for this month. So if you're interested in seeing that video, you can use the button down below to join at the Ravenous Readers level and have access to my picks for fantasy romance with these tropes. With that said, let's go ahead and dive in and start with historicals. So for historical romance, 3 of these books are by the same author, and I think it's because in general she tends to write less angsty romance. So my first recommendation for you is try reading Courtney Milan. These books are all in the Brothers Sinister series. First we have The Duchess War, which is book 1 in the series, where our heroine is a quiet, bespectacled wallflower with a secret that she's trying to hide, and the Duke has some secrets of his own. This gets into some external political things that end up creating conflict for the hero and heroine, and I really enjoyed it. So if you're looking for something where a lot of the conflict is more external to the relationship and there's pretty good communication between the hero and heroine, this might be a good one to check out. Book 2 in the series is The Heiress Effect, and this one also features really good communication between the prime hero and heroine. In this case, there is internal conflict in terms of neither of them wanting to be in a long-term relationship with the other person for specific reasons, but it's something that they're actually talking to each other about. It's not a misunderstanding. And then finally, the prequel novella, The Governess Affair. I really loved this a lot. I do have reviews for these up on Goodreads if you want to hear more details, but this is another novella where there's very good communication between the hero and heroine, and the conflict in the relationship is an external one. So I know that's a lot from one author, but I just think Courtney Milan is really great if you're looking for romances that are going to be lower on the angst factor. Probably she has other books that do this as well, but of the ones of hers that I've read, these were the picks that I wanted to suggest. Next, in historical romance, if you're looking for a conflict that involves solving a murder mystery, you might want to try The Princess Plan by Julia London. This one is really fun, and the conflicts in here are more have to do with the personalities of the hero and heroine, their places or positions in society, and this external conflict of a murder mystery that they're trying to solve. So if you're looking for something where it's not a misunderstanding trope, but there are other things getting in the way, this might be a good one to check out. Another murder mystery one, albeit a much more silly version of it, is The Highlander Takes a Bride by Lynsay Sands. My friend Mara at Books Like Whoa basically described this as a bunch of dumb, hot people trying to solve a murder mystery and getting it on in the Scottish Highlands, and that's pretty much what this is. They're trying to solve a murder mystery, but they're not very good at it, so it's pretty funny and tongue-in-cheek. But again, misunderstanding is not the issue here, so lower on the angst level if that's what you want. Similarly, When a Scot Ties the Knot by Tessa Dare, this is another one where the couple has pretty good communication with each other. They might have reasons for not wanting to be in a relationship, but it's not because of misunderstanding. Another one that's a great historical romantic comedy, I always love Tessa Dare, and this one was particularly funny. It follows a woman who, because she's super shy and wanted to get out of having to get married and attend social events, made up a fiance, basically. Sent him letters imagining him as the Scottish captain in the military, except it turns out one day he shows up at her doorstep and this guy had been getting her letters and is now determined to marry her for reasons of his own. So this one is really fun and another good pick. My final recommendation for historical romance is Tempest by Beverly Jenkins. I loved this so much. It's got a spunky heroine and a quiet, nerdy hero who's a widow raising a young daughter. I just loved this a whole lot. She's a mail-order bride and he doesn't expect it to be a marriage of love, but more a marriage of convenience, and yet things slowly start developing. And again, this is something where there's pretty good communication between the characters, and the conflict in this story tends to be more external. It's about things going on in their community, not so much about the relationship between the two of them. So that is my final recommendation for historical romance. Then I have 4 contemporary romances I want to recommend. First one is Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. I loved this. It's so fun and entertaining. This is a really great steamy romance with a kind of sweet cinnamon roll hero. And what's nice about this is that the couple has really good communication with each other. The conflict has to do with our heroine not being sure that she really wants to commit to a relationship. This one has a fake dating trope in it, and it's just really, really great. So yeah, they don't have communication problems. It's other things that get in the way. And then if you want the cinnamon roll of all cinnamon roll heroes, and if for those who are not deep into the romance community, a cinnamon roll hero is basically what it sounds like. Somebody who may not look super sweet and soft on the outside, but inside is sweet and soft and gooey like a cinnamon roll. And my sort of perfect cinnamon roll hero here is Rafe from Rafe, A Buff Male Nanny by Rebecca Weatherspoon. This is really, really good. It's kind of what it sounds like, except that the couple has such good communication from the get-go. It begins with him deciding whether to take the job of being an emergency nanny for a professional woman's daughters and saying, hey, I've never worked for somebody where I'm attracted to them before. Is this gonna work out okay? And so they start off having great communication. They continue to have great communication, and the conflict in the relationship is really external pressures. So definitely recommend that one. My next recommendation is The Austen Playbook by Lucy Parker. This is another one that has kind of a mystery element to it that the couple is trying to solve, and it's an opposites attract romance with a kind of grumpy hero and a sunshine heroine. So it's got those elements to it. She is an actress in London's West End and he's a theater critic, and it's just really, really great. Another one where I feel like their communication as a couple is pretty good, and the primary things that come between them are external factors, not angst between them as a couple. So definitely recommend that one. And then the final recommendation for you guys today is Like Lovers Do by Tracey Livesay. I really enjoyed this one a lot. It's got a friends to lovers and fake dating element to it. But again, misunderstanding is not the problem between the couple. It's whether they want to be in a relationship with each other long term for other reasons. There's also external factors that create conflict in the relationship, but they're really good friends and have wonderful communication with each other. So that is not the issue. So there you go. If you are looking for a romance to pick up where it's not going to be this miscommunication, high angst between the characters, there are 11 books that you can go and check out that I think are fantastic and would definitely recommend. But again, if you want to see my picks for fantasy romance, that is going to be a members only video. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know any of your thoughts or feelings on anything I talked about today. And for your question of the day, give me one of your recommendations. What is a romance novel that you love that has some of these factors, where there's more external conflict or where there's really great communication between the partners? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.